Paul, can you briefly give us kind of key things that contributed to your success in business and in life?
I think business-wise, one of the big things was learning early about systemizing your business. And I went to a seminar down here in the Hut, and it was 1993, and a guy called Winston Marsh, who's still going, must be in his mid-80s now. He held up a book called The E-Myth, and it's now called The E-Myth Revisited by a guy called Michael Gerber. And it's all about systemizing. It's a bit more detail than that. So basically you write a procedure from the time the key goes in the door to the time you lock the door again. Everything's systemized. People, like for retail, people walk in the door, what's the system? Also, those things can also not only be used to make sure you got uniformity in your business, but also it's a great training mechanism. So shortly after that, I read the book, and I dictated between Taupo and Hamilton an hour and a quarter what it was, our in-home selling system for home tech. So if someone went into the home, had all these stages like probing and heading towards the close. And when I left 25 years later, 80% of that system was still in place. So I knew that when someone had a low closure rate, that they were deviating from the system.
Yeah.
And one particular guy, I went out, he had a closure rate of like 40%, went out for half a day with him, and he just asked one thing from our system was, well, when do you think of doing something? And his closure rate went up to 70%. Constantly, just that one thing. But then once he started following the system, so if you systemize your business, it's so easy for training, onboarding. It's just systems and processes, and just everything we do, we should be systemized. Now, there's a lot of modern platforms, software platforms to make it easier.
Yeah,
systemizing a business is just so powerful. And people say, what's your secret to success? So you sold your product. I said, no, it's actually the way we do it in our systems. The next one is goal setting.
Goal setting, yeah.
I used to read a lot of books, self-help books. I've mentioned the E-Myth, but back in, I think it was about the mid-80s. It was the mid-80s, early 80s. I read a book that was called Lazy Man's Road to Riches. I don't know who the guy was. Anyway, it was in that book, it was just a strong emphasis on setting goals. So I've got my goals from the 31st December 1985. I still got that piece of paper. Okay, the goals I set now are a lot higher. So I set these goals of what I wanted to do, and I think unless you can set in business a goal, it's pretty hard to get there. And it's business planning in some ways. So just on my, further up, I had a goal to sell my business and retire on a passive income for the rest of my life, and I exceeded that, and I did that, and that was 5 years ago. So I achieved those goals. But every day I write my goals down. So you set this goal of where you want to go up here, and you break it down into little bites. So I like 5-year plan goals. So 5 years is what I want to do, and I've got 20-year goals still, my right page. So 5 years time, and then you break it down the year, 1 year. This is what I want to achieve in 1 year. Then you break it down to the 90-day goals. This is beautiful. 90 days are so powerful. You can achieve so much in 90 days. Yeah. And then that flows down to your daily goals. So everything you do on a daily basis should flow up and to where you want to be. So it's all connecting, and it becomes, if you create a habit, it just becomes part of your everyday life. But subconsciously, you're heading towards those goals.
And because you've written it down, you're keeping a view on those long-term goals, aren't you?
You are.
Yeah.
And now, when it comes to my daily goals, this is when I get a little bit pedantic about things. I came across Franklin diary 25 years ago. So every day I prioritise the things that I need to be doing. So I go, all those things I've got to do. And look, these may be business things, maybe personal things, maybe buying my wife flowers or whatever. So I take all those tasks and I prioritise them A to C. And then I go further and prioritise the A's. It's not just set and forget. You've got to update them, look at them regularly. And particularly, I think, at the beginning of the year, the first day in the new year, to set those goals and review what you've achieved over the last 12 months. It's really satisfying. And I love it on a daily basis when I go through and crossing all these things off. It just makes me, makes you,
you can go
and it's very efficient.
Feeling like you've achieved something.
Yeah. I wish I learned the power of no a long time ago. And as entrepreneurs, we walk down the road and we love shiny things. We walk 100 meters down the road and we see 100 opportunities. I've done some stupid things, gone, because it's really easy to get into something, really hard to get out of it. And looking back over my home tech experience, I wish I'd focused more, not had so many sales channels, specialised more, and said no to a lot of things, a lot of these shiny things. Going off with all these tangents, that's a great idea, and then oh no, why did I do that for, So you're going to be far more successful if you say no rather than saying yes all the time. And there's a book, I don't know, can't remember the author, but it's called The One Thing. Mm-hmm. And that's a very powerful book, and just getting you focused of saying no and just focus on where you're going. And yeah, so just really focus on one thing, or focus really hard on what you're good at, and just try not to deviate too much, and say no a lot. Say no. You'd be far better off saying no.
Because there's a lot of distraction out there.
A lot of distraction, and a lot of time wasted through people or whatever. So,
yeah.
So it's a powerful thing, saying no.